You are standing outside a packed room, hand on the doorknob, taking one last breath before you enter, and somehow, you are already tired. If that is you, this video is for you. You step inside. Too many voices, too many faces, too many signals at once. Someone says, "Come on, relax, it's fun," but your body is already looking for the exit. Not because you hate people, not because you are rude, not because you are broken, but because your brain just calculated the cost of this room before anyone else even noticed there was one. And for some people, that cost is high. Crowded places do not just feel busy, they feel loud in every possible way. Not only sound, light, movement, background conversations, people brushing past you, music that is slightly too sharp, a smile that feels forced, a tone of voice that feels off. Most people can filter a lot of that out, but you often cannot. Your brain keeps it all open. Psychologists sometimes describe this as a difference in sensory gating. While a more typical brain automatically turns down background input to focus on one thing, your brain is still letting far more of it through at once. That is why crowds can feel overwhelming so quickly. It is not weakness. It is deep processing. Some people walk into a room and register the general vibe. You walk into a room and your mind starts recording details. Who looks uncomfortable? Who is pretending to have fun? Who is talking too loudly? Who is drained already? Who is trying to impress people? Who wants to leave? You do not just notice the room, you notice the pressure inside the room, and that is exhausting. Because crowded places are rarely just crowded. They are full of performance, small talk, social masks, and forced energy. People trying to look more relaxed, more likable, and more confident than they really feel. And if you are someone who picks up on that easily, it can make crowds feel even heavier. Not because you are judgmental, but because your brain keeps reading what other people are trying not to show. That takes energy. A lot of it. This is why some people say they hate crowds, when what they really hate is overstimulation. The crowd is just the delivery system. Too much noise, too much emotional traffic, and too much input without enough space to process it. Crowds are not just loud. For some people, they are expensive. They cost attention. They cost recovery. They cost nervous system space. And some nervous systems fill up faster than others. That does not make those people antisocial. It means their threshold is different. Some people feel energized by a full room. Some people feel scattered. Some people hear music and laughter and feel alive. Some people hear the same room and feel their battery draining in real time. That difference matters, because society tends to assume that louder means healthier, that social means normal, that if you do not enjoy crowds, something must be wrong with you. But that is not always true. Sometimes the problem is not fear, it is mismatch. A crowded room may simply ask more from your brain than it gives back. And when that happens, leaving early is not failure. It is regulation. For many people, the reward system is different too. They do not come alive from more noise, more faces, and more movement. They come alive from depth, a quiet walk, a one-on-one conversation, a familiar room, a night with no performance required, a place where they do not have to compete with 50 different signals at once. That is why a quiet evening can feel better than a packed event. Not because nothing is happening, but because your mind finally has room to breathe. And there is another layer to this. Sometimes hating crowded places is just about sensitivity, but sometimes it can be about history too. If you grew up in chaos, noise may not feel exciting. It may feel familiar in the worst way. And what looks like a simple preference now may actually be a nervous system that learned long ago to feel safest in calm spaces. That does not mean your need for space is fake. It just means there may be more than one reason why crowds feel so hard. And that matters, because there is a difference between choosing solitude and hiding in it. There is a difference between protecting your peace and disappearing from life. Only you can answer that honestly. When you avoid crowded places, are you moving toward yourself or only away from discomfort? That question matters, because healthy solitude restores you. Avoidance only shrinks your world. So if you hate crowded places, do not rush to call yourself weird. Ask better questions. What exactly drains you? Is it the noise, the lights, the masks, the lack of space, the emotional overload, or the feeling that you cannot fully be yourself there? Because once you understand the cost, your reaction starts to make sense. And maybe that is why crowded places feel so overwhelming to some people. Not because they hate life, not because they hate people, but because some minds were never built to treat chaos like entertainment. They were built to notice more, feel more, and need more space to return to themselves.